Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Indie Advocates is here as the Comics News Wire goes live for week 33, August 15th through the 21st of 2022. It's the 33rd week of 2022, which means we're running out of running room in 2022. It's already time to start planning for next year. And of course, our featured event is the return of Indie Advocates, where we advocate for the independent creator, but so can you. Anyone can be an indie advocate. All you have to do is go out and share with the world all the cool comic book creations that you have seen. And this week, we also introduced the early edition for the comic book news, where we went over the indie advocates' last rites and talked to you about the forecast. And we actually had a backer pause this week, which went over all the projects that are now live. So unless it's mixed in with some new news, we're going to move on to the later part of the week's news. And that's going to start right here as we go over to the Comics Newswire. And the full forecast can be found this week. And hold on, I'm going to frame this up so we can actually get it and announce it. That this week's forecast, brought to you by Indie Advocates, is on our YouTube channel, Comic Book Advocates. You can find us on YouTube right now, and we actually have the video for you right here. And we'll take you over to our channel right now. I'm going to zoom over to the channel, and you guys can see it's the Indie Forecast, and apparently there we go. And welcome to the Comics. That's definitely my voice. So you can find us at the comicbookadvocates.com or just Comic Book Advocates, hosted by me, Mr. AnderSiN. So if you haven't already hit our YouTube channel, now is the time. There's a ton of great information on it. Go subscribe now and keep up with everything that we're promoting and advocating for. That's honestly like good advice for you guys. As far as the advocating goes, we're going to quickly do just an update on something very fast, if you would. This week's forecast went out without us talking about David Whalen. He was in the earlier edition forecast, but didn't make the regular one due to a loading issue. We want to let you know that David Whalen will be at the AnchorCon this weekend, and he'll be promoting his issue number 21. And AnchorCon was part of the forecast, mind you, so all the details can be found at COMiXforecast.com. We just wanted you to know that David's going to be there. Dan, Coate, and Thomas, by the way, Doherty, are heading to Emerald City Comic Con. And a big shout out to Daniel Campbell and his team, who made sure that we covered Nerdfest this week in the news. So Nerdfest is going on the 21st in the Holiday Inn, Swedesboro, New Jersey, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can find more details about that on their Twitter or at COMiXforecast.com. And then Backer Pause, of course, we recorded. This week's Backer Pause can be found at BackerPause.com. It was week 33 as we celebrated indie projects. You can find all the great projects that were part of the Backer Pause this week under this week's projects, or just the continuing. No matter when you watch this video, go to BackerPause.com and see all the videos projects and possibly their videos that are now live. Check it out today, BackerPause.com. A creator's responsibility. It is your responsibility as a creator to promote upcoming appearances, even if you're a guest, starting at least 2 weeks out. When I wrote that, I couldn't fit in the at least because, meta. Wolf and Fox have a brand new Instagram page, and I'm inviting you to come over to it. A divorced duo must work through their problems so they can protect and, in many ways, co-parent the city they both love. They have to go through therapy for that one. She-Hulk attorney at law star Tatiana Maslany jokingly notes that Deadpool has been copying She-Hulk's tendency to break the fourth wall. And believe it or not, kids, that's actually true. brought to us by Comic Book Resources. This fall, it's about to go down as Wolf and Fox, a divorced duo forced to co-parent the city they both love, hits Kickstarter for their first official Kickstarter and first official issue. They're going to have their own issue. It's about to get heavy. So make sure that you subscribe for the Notify Me on launch, because we're going to have day one specials. You can find this at wolfandfox.com. That's letter N between Wolf and Fox. Congratulations to Martha Schwartz as she successfully funded her Seat Seekers Great Big World. Coming from Comic Book Resources, despite Warner's controversial cutbacks, HBO Max's upcoming DC shows about Green Lantern Corps and Colin Farrell's The Penguin are still moving forward. My newest trick at the shows is what I call the waterfall effect, where I have comics from the very top of my table all the way down to the floors where the kids can see them. Come check me out at the Art Walks every first Friday of the month, and you might get to see the comics waterfall, or the next time I'm doing a show. Not sure when that is yet. Stay tuned for more. Here we go. Christian gives us his new book, which is ready for pre-order. It's Make Your Own Comics and Manga. If you know anybody that can benefit this, please share. The PDF is also available, and it's available at www.masterpieceartschool.com. It's the easy and fun cartooning techniques for drawing comics. Fabio hits us with updates. Hey, friends, great news to Chameleon Studio comic fans. Right now, he's working on Vexus 2, and the production is going smoothly, he says. This is a work in progress, and the shot of the 10th page. All the things are being prepared for a killer sequel to the acclaimed first issue, and all I have to say, he says, is thank you for believing in Chameleon Studios. We'll keep working hard to bring you powerful comics with the best art quality. Let's rock. And Fabio's kind of bringing the heat, bringing the smoke. If you're a fan of Rick and Morty, this one's for you. Comicbook.com reports to us that the Rick and Morty star explained one of the series' most important features in its multiverse adventures. What could that be? I know what it is because I went there. Go to comicbook.com and find this article about Rick and Morty, or just go to the Comics Newswire and look up. That's comicsnewswire.com. Look up week 33. Heather Allen tells us Beowulf 4 is now live on Kickstarter. Peek closer into Victor and Hazel's relationship in Beowulf 4. Genuine concern for Victor causes Hazel's sarcastic facade to slip. Find out more by going to Beowulf on Kickstarter right now. The Dragon Slayer from Myth reincarnated as a 30-something slacker. What could go wrong? This one floored me, coming from Comic Book Resources. The Joker is Batman's sidekick in the new DC Black Label series coming out later this year. Great puns, Batman. That one did kind of get me. Congratulations to Evan Pavos. The news came out earlier today. He is successfully funded. First person I know to successfully fund on Zoop. Go check it out anyway. You can find this as part of the BACKERPAUSE rundown this week, and that's Blood Run on Zoop. For those who don't know, Zoop is a brand new comic book funding platform similar to Kickstarter and Indiegogo. Of course, Evan talks to us through the Comics Newsroom, which is the Comics Newswire newsroom over there on the Meta groups. I'll be honest, of all the Spider-Man 2099 was always my favorite. And Comic Book Resources let us know that merchandise for the upcoming sequel, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, reveals a remarkable comic-accurate backstory for Spider-Man 2099, which I love. I love this story. The only thing I want to ask you guys, are you getting sort of tired of toys kind of ruining some of the stories and some of the surprises? I think I'm kind of over the toys ruining things for everybody. All right, here we go. According to Vera Sam, this is proving to be the most epic campaign yet. Book 3, aye, Chihuahua. Duty's monsters on Planet Cthulhu. What? Aliens, Frankenstein, Dracula, Cthulhu, the Mummy. Aye, Chihuahua, a cowboy. This is out of control. 2 standalone stories, 2 separate comics wrapped in one campaign with 38 days going to launch. You'll want to make sure that you subscribe now on Kickstarter. So go there right now and find your way into the adventures of There's an Alien in My Toilet. Also part of BACKERPAUSE.com in our Coming Soon section. This week is all about the Green as She-Hulk attorney-at-law creator Jessica Gao reveals the unexpected legal drama that influenced Marvel Studios' upcoming Disney series. What? You're going to have to go to Comic Book Resources for more information on that one. And this is with us, mind you, having an earlier edition now. We're already 11 minutes into this show. That is how much news we're covering now. But I didn't want to make it a half-an-hour show. I'm hoping to get this down to 10 minutes. Hopefully we can get the 2 shows to be 10 minutes each. We'll see. But here we go. Heather Ellen tells us over at the Comics Newswire newsroom that she's calling all gamers and steampunk fans, add your own color to their multiverse of cosmic mystery and steampunk adventure with the Association of Ishtar, now on Kickstarter. So go to Kickstarter to get your copy today. Now, some of these aren't part of BackerPause.com for various reasons. A lot of it has to do with the creator's permissions and whether or not we have direct permission. There's something different between someone sharing something to our site with Heather Ellen does a lot, and creators actually telling us. We require the creators themselves to tell us about their campaigns, just to keep everyone on the same page. Here we go. Can't decide which cover to get? Get them all. Go check out Roadkill Rampage, now on Kickstarter. Brought to us by Heather Allen over at the Comics Newswire newsroom on the Meta Group. There's a dark crisis happening in D.C., and Young Justice is curiously being urged to start murdering villains by a surprise figure. Who could that figure be? Go to Comic Book Resources for more information, or go to our COMiXnewsWire.com week 33 and find this article. From our friends at NRG Comics, he said, Happy Fan Art Friday, as he shows off everyone they were gifted fabulous art by NRG Comics superfan Doomy Toons, featuring their title character, Toon Man. So go check out NRG Comics on the Meta for more information. I also know that they're on Patreon. Go to week 33 at COMiXnewsWire.com to find this article. And NRG Comic tells us that they have passed over 700 followers on Twitter. So congratulations to you guys at NRG Comics for hitting that milestone. John Wick upcoming prequel series exploring the origins of the Continental Hotel will now premiere on Peacock instead of Starz, and I love Peacock, so I'm all good with that. When they first launched Peacock, they had some weird shows, but I'm kind of a fan about it. So Peacock on. All right, here we go. This one's a big one. From Drew Ford, get ready to have your minds blown. It's Aliens Beyond Thrilled. Let's start that again. Get ready to have your mind blown. It's alive. He's beyond thrilled to announce the return of Fish Police. Yes, creator-owned comic book that rocked the 1980s and was even turned into a TV show by Hanna-Barbera for CBS is coming back. And we don't mean reprints of the original stuff, although we'll be doing that as well. We are talking about all new Fish Police comics by the original creator, Steve Moncuse. And better still, the story will pick up around where it left off almost 30 years ago. To make things even sweeter, this sick new cover by Stephen Moncuse was colored by the brilliant Rhonda Pettison. You may have seen some of her gorgeous colors on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Max, and Usagi Yojimbo, among others. Please keep your eyes peeled for more announcements, including the upcoming launch of the crowdfunding campaign to support the return of the Fish Police. I know you, like me, you've been missing the Fish Police, and now we all get our dreams answered. This is awesome. Thank you for letting us know, Drew Ford, and keep us in the loop. How cool is that? Hanna-Barbera, something coming back. This is definitely a throwback. All right. This is from Jerry Zuckus. He's got us a video that you can watch by coming to the Comics Newswire Week 33. The brothers are fired up and ready for action. The fight is going to take everything coming from the top. Nothing like a great challenge to get the blood pumping. Their Kickstarter begins October 7th. Xanatos, The Light of Joy continues on Webtoons from Michael McAdam. This week, Eating Joy in the Form of Fruitios, written by Michael McAdams. Art and colors by Mark and Marvin Mavradia. And this looks awesome. If you're a Webtoon fan, this is something you can definitely go check out. And you can find more from Michael on his site, xanatos.gargus.com. It's TWOGARGS.com. So go check out Michael and his creation on Webtoons today. There's an alien in my toilet, and you're going to be able to join his adventures on 9/20 as they go to Kickstarter for book number 3. Go sign up today to get the information of when they go live. The Book of Boba Fett star Ming-Na Wen remains optimistic that the Disney and Lucasfilms will announce a second season of Boba Fett, and I sure want the Book of Boba Fett to continue with a lot more chapters. From Heather Ellen, she tells us, how would you handle this frightful situation? Tess is in Roadkill Rampage number 3. Apparently there's less than 4 days. That might actually be that it's over now that we're recording this. I hope not. But if it's still live on Kickstarter, then put out your thumb and hitchhike on your way by backing the Road Trip from Hell, Roadkill Rampage number 3. And this is David Whalen. We're giving him some love, so we're going to go ahead. David Whalen tells us over at the Comics Newswire newsroom on the Meta, hey everyone, I'll be at AnchorCon 2022 this weekend promoting issue 21 of our action thrill comic series, The Offspring, along with all other available titles. Check them out this weekend at AnchorCon. This one kind of surprised me and came out of nowhere. Jordan L.S. exits CW's Superman and Lois with the role of Jonathan Kent to be recast for season 3, brought to us by Comic Book Resources. I really liked him. I'm going to miss him on the show. I really hope it doesn't mess up the chemistry. Him and his brother, actually, I thought he did a really good job, and I'm kind of nervous about him leaving because I really like that show. We'll have to see as the show is set to return in 2023. I'm sure more casting news to come. Heather Ellen tells us, calling all gamers and steampunk fans, add your own color to the multiverse of cosmic mystery and steampunk adventure with the Association of Ishtar. Bit.ly, that's bit.ly, steampunk coloring, pre-order, and the coloring book, miniatures, and more today. Julio A. Rowan, gives us Marty and Spud, Castle of the Land. From What Do You Want? What's more? Well, they're proud to announce that the official pre-sale of Marty and Spud Castle of the Lost has begun. That's right. You can find this over at gorillapress.storeenvy.com. Who is that handsome man right there? Wait a minute, that's me. And I got to discuss BACKERPAUSE and why I do everything with BACKERPAUSE that we do on this channel. And we got to discuss Kickstarter in general. You can find out more by going to Comic Book School by Buddy Scalera on Twitter, or find them on the Meta, or more importantly, the YouTube channel where you can see me blabbering on about Kickstarter. On October 4th, we're excited to announce Wolf and Fox, the divorced duo forced to co-parent a city they both love and forced into superhero therapy to deal with the mutual trauma that they've experienced while protecting the city of Jax, heads to Kickstarter. Make sure to subscribe to the Notify Me on Launch button so you can get the day one exclusive deals by being notified the minute we go live. Find more at wolfandfox.com. That's wolf, letter N, fox.com. This show is taking forever today. We have too much news. Creator tip. A new commonplace occurrence of a comic book show is them having a Facebook group, event, or page. Creators post your info there before the show and after. So basically, most of these comic book shows, Comic Cons, they have actual social media pages, or there's a fan group that's made them. Take advantage of it. Put your information there, creators, and let them know that you were there, and let them know where they can find your stuff when they can't connect with you at the show. Christopher Lloyd appears to confirm he's appearing in Mandalorian Season 3. Mandalorian time travel confirmed. They're going to the future. Brought to us by Comic Book Resources. Remember, every week on Monday, I do something to allow people to show off their moods. Go to AnderSiN Robert, and you can follow me along, and you can be part of putting your mood artistically in this thread so you can be seen on the meta. Breaking news, Ben Lacey is going to be in San Francisco. Nope, sorry, South Carolina at the Soda City Comic-Con in Columbia, South Carolina. And this is a pop culture event, and I believe it's on Saturday. I hate when events do this. They don't tell us. So we're going to go take a quick look, because Ben's my boy. It's going to be August 20th and the 21st. It's actually a 2-day show. I'm glad I looked. This Saturday and Sunday. All right, let's get rid of their thing. Ooh, look at that beautiful site. Our YouTube page. All right. Time for a book recommendation. I really like Tim S. Grover's Relentless, From Good to Great to Unstoppable. I thought this was it's very much a sports-driven book, but it's motivating, and I think some creators could benefit from such motivation. Check it out like I did on Audible while you're working out. From our good friend Jeff Brennan, thank you to everyone for getting this project so close to its goal. They're $75 short. Please share on social media and tell your friends. We're so close to the finish line. Thank you so much. Go to Jeff, check out Lita now on Kickstarter, and help them cross that finish line. Some exciting news coming from Zebra Comics. They're about to unveil an app. We'll be covering more about this. It's going to contain comics, which are completed series from the first time from an African. Sorry, it's not loading more. There we go. African company. All stories you'd find within are complete and written by a handful of award-winning African writers. These comics shall be published weekly, each title running monthly till its completion. Consistency guaranteed. We're looking forward to seeing this app, and we're looking forward to covering it when it comes out. So stay tuned for more. Record-breaking Sandman dominated Netflix most watched chart for a second week, racking up an impressive 127.5 million hours watched. Hey, Echo, How many days is 127 million hours? Let's see if Echo got it.
127 million hours is 5.292 million days.
Jeez. That's light years away. Keep it up, kids. It's a great show. This is brought to us by Comic Book Resources. This one's kind of big. In the big news department coming from Forbes, Matt Cave Studios acquires Kid Comics pioneer Paper Cuts. An upstart publisher gains an instant credibility in a red-hot market for middle-grade readers. Check that out. This is brought to us by Forbes. Forbes covering comics. Gotta love that. Scott Zambelli gives us something different. He has a pre-launch for the enamel pin and vinyl sticker collection he's going to be doing. Crimson Shadows. Find that soon on Kickstarter. Now in Indiegogo as an on-demand Project Sisterhood #1, Dragons, Ghosts, and Mermaids. To find advocating on TikTok, all you need to do is go to Comic Book Advocates, and you get bite-sized portions of advocating instead of sitting through a longer show. Find the topics you want and join the sister page. We're going to call it brother page. Let's do that. The brother page. Forget the sister page. This is a brother page. I don't think it matters, honestly. But Indie Advocates also has its own channel, both doing the same thing. Comic Book Advocates does more of the mainstream. Indie stays just independent creators. Both on TikTok today. Subscribe now. And there's a replay apparently about me being on the live stream from the 16th on as I discuss BACKERPAUSE. Look at that. I'm already getting into the replays. I better get residuals. We have a thread up right now. Tuesday Thunder. Make some noise with your self-promoting below. I think I've spelled promoting wrong. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here it is. Here it is. Marvel's Savage Avengers series reveals an adult Miles Morales died while fighting who? You'll have to go to Comic Book Resources for more, or find this article on week 33 on the COMiXnewsWire.com. And that is the end of our show this week. This has been from the Comics News Wire newsroom on the Meta, from things sent to us via emails, from things we found on the Twitter, and of course, people sending it to my messenger. But if you really want to get on the show and make sure that you contact me, the best way to do it is comicsnewswire@yahoo.com and get your comic book information on our channels of advocating. Dun, dun, dun. All the shows brought to you by Indie Advocates and Comic Book Advocates is made possible in part thanks to a partnership with Continuum Comics, where they have the imprints of Playtime Comics for Kids, Heroics Comics for modern day heroicism, Comics Unleashed, where the creation can do so much when they're not being monitored, and Written Sins, the horror division of Continuum Comics. Find out more at continuumcomics.com. And that wraps up our week in the news. I feel like we've done news for 2 weeks. We've a lot of news coming out. Love it, love it. Couple questions here. Someone wants to do an interview with me, a local creator. I think there's a YouTube link. I'll try to look at that when I'm off. And Mal Dickinson says, hey, all. What's going on, dude? All right, we're going to sign off. Thanks for tuning in. Can't believe this was a half-an-hour show. I'm out. We'll see you next week on the Comics News Wire. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.